Welcome YouTube, Shonex has returned. I know it's been a long while, but not only did I get a new microphone like I pointed out in my last reaction, really good sound condensed microphone. You can hear that crisp in it. But recently, a few days ago, I got my soundproof headset, which will allow me to focus in the soundproof domain that is now my soundproof headset. Because background noises are the worst. So needed some upgrades. Now I do need an upgraded camera eventually, but this camera isn't terrible. So yeah, just little updates on the channel, getting a little upgraded and hopefully getting more consistent and hopefully start streaming and stuff like that. But there's plans coming out for that that you will all eventually see. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about another video that I'll be reacting to. Death Battle has returned once again. I am an anime weeb. I know that term is way outdated, but I'm just gonna use it. I'm an anime fan, as y'all know, and these are two of my favorite anime. My top five. Two of my top five. Bleach and Yu Yu Hakusho. Right now in Death Battle. Screw Attack has come back. And as y'all may know, on previous Death Battles, they have hoed Bleach. They have done Bleach dirty. Alright? I don't know, they just... A lot of people don't like Bleach. Especially, they don't like to highball Bleach. You know, people calling Bleach hill level. People calling Bleach city level, building level. There's a lot of complexities in Bleach's scaling and power system that you can use to accurately portray them as higher. But I guess, you know, some viewers like to see things explode in your face in order for something to be considered strong. If you're not seeing it happen visually with the spectacles and the destruction, they ain't at that level apparently. That's how people view the Bleach's power system. When Bleach does rely a lot on statements and other specifics that could, you know, give you an idea on the scaling. But we're not gonna talk about that either. I'm just gonna say that, yo, this is a Death Battle that I was always as excited as I was for it because I like both anime, I like both characters, Ichigo and Yusuke. I was worried because again, they didn't do Bleach the best. They had Ichigo lose to Naruto and they had Madara beat Aizen. That's kind of crazy, you know, that's kind of crazy. I love Naruto as well. I'm not a person who slanders any anime. I like all anime, but I'm gonna be real with you. Naruto is not beating Ichigo, and Madara is not beating Aizen. So, yeah. Another reason why I was uncomfortable about this Death Battle, despite being hyped, is because you had Naruto beat Ichigo, right? Then you had Hiei beat Sasuke. You see how it's not looking right here? We know Hiei is definitely stronger than Sasuke, right? I will admit that. He is. But Sasuke is around Naruto's level. So if Hiei is beating Sasuke, who's around Naruto's level, does this mean that Yusuke is gonna beat Ichigo because Yusuke is around Hiei's level? You get what I'm trying to say here? It's weird. I feel like they really gotta redo the battles between Ichigo and Naruto, and well, Bleach and Naruto period. They gotta redo those battles because they didn't go so well. But we're gonna see what they do here. I'm worried because in my opinion, as strong as Yusuke is, he's not beating Ichigo. Let's be honest. Like Bleach scale is really high, especially with hacks and stuff. But let's take a look and see what the Death Battle does if they redeem Bleach or if they end up doing Bleach even dirtier than before. I'm worried. Let me not even go to the comments. X this out, bro. I don't want no spoilers. I tried my best to avoid spoilers. Okay, here we go. Oh, it's gonna be a 2D battle. Oh well. Oh well, understandable. We'll work with it.
Ichigo Kurosaki
a sprite battle, I mean.
Yusuke Urameshi.
The substitute Shinigami of Bleach versus the spirit detective of Yu Yu Hakusho.
Substitute Soul Reaper versus Spirit Detective.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Now, I like Yusuke a little better.
Tell me, Boomstick, what happens when we die?
Endless nothingness? Jeez, man, I don't know. We just started.
Our souls are ferried by Shinigami, gods of death, in an eternal cycle of death and rebirth.
That was my second guess.
And when a soul goes astray, warped by evil and regret, it's a
Holify.
Shinigami's job to purify such violent hollows and send them off to the realm of the dead, the Soul Society.
The
Works
Soul
great
Society.
till it doesn't. Enter Ichigo Kurosaki, whose
Ichigo
tragic
Kurosaki.
enemy backstory.
I already know all this, but you know. Actually, I don't know this. This is going to go over stuff in the 1,000-year Blood War arc, so if you guys have not caught up to that, since the anime is still ongoing, spoiler alert, obviously. I have not caught up to it either, but I don't really care. I do know about certain things in the manga anyway, so it's whatever. But let's take a look at this. Name, Ichigo Kurosaki, which means strawberry. Age, 29 years old. Height, 5'11". 29. Definitely taking place after a 1,000-year blow arc because, come on. Weight, 145-pound, occupation, substitute Shinigami translator. Candidate to replace the Soul King, yep. Trained by Urahara Yoroichi, the Visor. Ishin, Squad 0, likes chocolate. Shakespeare, Orihime. Japan name can be read as strawberry. There we go. Likes Orihime and her bread, if you know what I
He
mean.
came way too early when his mom was killed by a hollow. Reason
Grand
number one
Fisher.
why you should never want your kid to be the anime protagonist.
Left with his grief, young
That's
Ichigo
fair.
was crushed under the weight of
If you're a kid in
survivor's guilt.
anime, bro,
So he lashed
you're done
out
for in
the
some of
only
these
way
worlds.
he knew how, beating people up.
But this wound
This
began
man
to
was
heal when
stomping
he
somebody's
The
face
only
in
way
the
he knew
concrete.
how,
Like,
beating
look
people
at that.
up.
Already a
But
feat.
this wound began to heal when he found his calling upon meeting a Shinigami named Rukia. To stop a powerful
Rukia
hollow,
Kuchiki.
she gave Ichigo her powers, rousing unseen potential within.
Boom! Just like that, Ichigo's a Shinigami.
Substitute
This dude's
Shinigami.
Ichigo has changed so much throughout the series. He had so many different swords, like so many different Zanpakuto variants, and different outfits and stuff.
To
like,
carry out his
which
duties,
makes sense.
Ichigo sheds
He's
his
like part
body
everything.
for an invisible one made
He's
of
like the
spiritual
cell
matter called
of
Reishi.
Bleach.
He can wield vast amounts
Look
of
at that real quick.
body for an invisible one made of spiritual matter called Reishi.
Reishi,
He
yep.
can wield vast amounts of spiritual energy called Ryoku and exert it
Ryoku.
offensively in the form of spiritual pressure or Reiatsu.
Okay, that's a lot of big words, but all it really means is he's a super-powered ghost with an
Reiatsu.
epic sword. His spirit aura is so strong, he can stun lock foes, crushing them under his own power, even fatally.
He controls spirit matter in and around him, hardening his skin for defense and
Blitz.
leaping off of
Let
invisible
me read this real quick. Reiatsu. I always called it Reiatsu. Reiatsu. Let me try to remember that. Which is the pressure. Reikaku, which is the sensing. I didn't know about that. Getsuka Tensho, Shinigami skills. Zanjutsu, which is the whole Zanpakuto stuff. He knows Shunpo? Oh wait, no. Shunpo is just like flash step and stuff, right? Hakura, I don't remember which one's Hakura. Because he doesn't know Hito, so it's not that. Or is Hakura the flash step and Shunpo is just like whatever. Reishi manipulation, flight. Yep, blood vein. That's the defense thing. Zangetsu, fusion of Shinigami and hollow powers. And then we got Quincy Zangetsu, manifestation of Quincy power.
holds in the air.
Technically,
Paired with
he has
speed
full
boosting
bringing
skills
power.
like
Did they
Shunpo,
say anything
he
about
can
full bringing
virtually
here?
fly.
Say goodbye to the kid who beat up bullies for their lunch money.
Now he's beating
and
up
hello
hollows.
to the town's new superhero with fellow Ghostbusters, Orihime,
He's like Danny
Chad,
Phantom.
and Uryu. Plus Rukia. It was the Shinigami's job to tear hollows a new hole.
While balancing responsibilities at school, of course. GPA comes first, and maybe a round or two of tech.
But it wouldn't
Top
be possible without his Shinigami blade, a Zanpakuto. It's basically
Zanpakuto. Zanpakuto. I'm not gonna be one of those people, but it does sound weird as heck. Like that's like calling pizza pizza or something, you know, or pancake pancakey. I don't know.
a super-powered spirit that's physically a
Zanpakuto.
sword. Ghost sword.
Though strangely, Ichigo's sword is composed of two distinct spirits, both named Zangetsu, which isn't confusing at
Zangetsu.
all.
Just call him Old Man Zangetsu and Hollow Zangetsu. Anyway, the double ghost sword gives Ichigo lots of new moves, including his trademark attack, the
Getsuga
sword beams
Tensho.
and all sword beams. Getsuga Tensho!
That's pretty much
Getsuga
all he
Tensho
knows.
is incredibly powerful, and so effective that Ichigo developed multiple variants. He can fire it as a wave, detonate it mid-attack to act as a barrier, and combine two at once into the even stronger Getsuga Jujisho.
To
That's what I
cut
gotta
even the
memorize. That one, Getsuga Jujisho. That's the one he did with the whole.
biggest hollows down to
His
size.
true
Ichigo was
Zanpakuto.
ridiculously strong, even from frame 1.
He can make giant shockwaves and parry spiritual light beams from a Menos Grande. And these aren't fake, slower-than-light lasers. Guidebooks confirm they're real light. And
Yeah, take that. You know how many people I've debated with that said that Ceros aren't light? It's a light beam.
the novels say so too.
Plus, early on, Uryu moves so fast
He
that
blitzed
he
his
left his
shadow.
own shadow behind.
But as Ichigo became more involved with the Soul Society, he quickly found that he wasn't good enough.
Guy's so fast, Ichigo can't even see him.
He
Time
blitzed him.
for a good old-fashioned training arc. Hit the music!
Bleach
Until
has some
now,
unique training
Zangetsu had
arcs.
operated only in its base state, Shikai. So Ichigo learned to release its inner power, a 10 times boost that takes most Shinigami a decade to master.
Bankai?
Kai! In
Yep,
Bankai, his
that's
speed
iconic, bro.
skyrocketed, letting him
Bankai!
turn the tables on douchebag Byakuya. Even
Douchebag?
in Shikai, he blocked an attack that could destroy the whole friggin' Soul Society.
Because Ichigo's greatest gift
Oh
is his
yeah,
potential.
that's another thing. That whole the Rio, I don't know.
Potential to improve. Despite only being a teenager, he mastered swordsmanship.
True Shikai manifests 2 Zanpakuto, Getsuga Dushiro, half hollow, fusion of Shinigami hollow and Quincy powers, high speed regeneration, Sero, Crinion running out of air, True Bankai, Tetsu Zangetsu, 5 to 10 times stat boost, other forms, hollow mass, full bring, Shikai and Bankai, skull clad, final Getsuga Tensho. Is skull clad the thing from the Hellverse? Isn't that a movie?
Well
Like
enough to
non-canon?
thrash experts who had been training for centuries.
I guess they involve
He
non-canon
can
stuff,
quickly
right?
adapt to new weapons and styles mid-fight, surpassing his limits time and time again.
Like when he took on Catboy Grimjow. He was getting
Catboy
clapped, but as
Grimjow.
soon as he heard Orihime cheering him on, that was all he needed to smash that kitty.
You mean Grimjow, right?
Yeah, but even with that main character energy,
Wording,
Ichigo
phrasing.
couldn't match Big Bad Aizen. With just a
This
finger,
man Aizen, yep.
stopped Ichigo's Bankai.
And theme
his
song.
theme song.
Yeah.
Rude.
Ichigo needed to tap into his unexplained hollow power.
Hollowification.
Except Hollow Zangetsu wasn't going to make it easy.
Old man
No,
Zang's
sir.
pretty chill, but this
I mean, let's be honest. What inner anime demon in this case makes it easy for the character?
guy's a menace.
Still, Ichigo needed his help and conjured a hollow mask to expand his power. But this meant the hollow within only grew stronger.
Masked
Yes.
up, he can fire lasers, bypass super senses, and heal lost limbs. But piss him off enough, and he'll go full hollow. And you really don't
Hostile
want
Mortis.
that.
Hollowification exceeds even Bankai and was enough to crush Ukiura in a battle that shook all of Hueco Mundo, the world of hollows.
Full hollow Ichigo could even tear through all 3 layers of hell.
Yeah,
But
okay,
with
so
help
they're
from
involving
his
that.
secret Shinigami father, Ichigo continued to train for months in the Dangai, a corridor between dimensions, until he was finally ready to challenge Aizen.
Challenge is an understatement. He manhandled Aizen, shattered mountains with sheer
When he
aura,
grabbed his
and
face
flexed so
mid
hard
conversation, when Aizen, every time Aizen spoke, nobody could shut him up. This man Ichigo said, "Boonk," grabbed his face, full palmed his face.
he smashed out of the black coffin, which crushes space like a mini black hole.
Yep.
yet
And it was a
it's
fully, I'm sorry for pausing. It was a
Wasn't
fully
enough. So by becoming
incantated one.
Getsuga itself, Ichigo unleashed his ultimate attack, Mugetsu, defeating Aizen.
Did you just say
at the
Mugetsu?
cost of
Did you
unleashed
say-
his ultimate attack, Mugetsu,
Isn't it Mugetsu?
defeating
Where's the
Aizen
Su?
at the cost of all his power.
He might have saved everyone, but now it was back to Normieville.
Ichigo never
Normiville?
truly realized until then just how much being a Shinigami meant to him. The power to protect others, his drive, his pride in himself was gone. He would give anything to get it back.
And he did, thanks to a surprise assist from Rukia.
Blow up
Boom!
Rukia.
Shinigami again!
Just in time for a 1,000-year blood war with a final endgame boss, Yuhabak.
Who planned to end
Yuhaba.
everything. And while other Shinigami tried their best, only Ichigo was special enough to pull it off.
His father was a Shinigami. His mother was a member of the ancient Quincy's and possessed by a
Masaki.
hollow. Hence, his two Sanpakuto
This
spirits.
story right here was crazy. This pretty much sets the stone for everything about Ichigo, bro. Why he's part everything. Why he's part Soul Reaper, why he's part Hollow, why he's
one
part Quincy.
the other Hollow and Shinigami, made Ichigo a perfect union to break Yuhabak's plan. Finally, Ichigo understood himself, fully unifying with both Zanpakuto spirits within. With that came a new Shikai and 2 new Zanpakuto.
True Shikai!
Zanpakuto.
If you thought
The
Ichigo
way they pronounce it, you can tell they don't know bleach like that. That's probably why they always hoe it when it comes to their death battles.
was strong before, oh
Zanpakuto.
boy, he's the strongest Shinigami alive. Third,
Slice through the chains of hell, block the world destroying. There you go, Sogyoku. I was trying to remember the name. Casually reacted to Sero and Balas. Yep, the Balas were like the faster versions, but weaker. Parried Byakuya's hundreds of millions of cuts. Crushed Ukiyora's Lanza del Relampago. Bro, I gotta memorize his name. I just call it Lanza. Shattered Aizen's Hado 90 Kuro Hitsugi. Matched Soking Yuhaba's realm-ending power. Defeated Renji, Kenpachi, Byakuya, Grimjow, Ukiyoda, Aizen, Ginjo, and Yuhabaha.
dead, undead, yeah.
Stronger than Kenpachi, who could split the Dangai in half. Stronger than Senjumaru, who shook heaven and earth across the realms.
Yes. Is that not a universal feat? She shook all the realms just by entering Bankai.
strong enough to match Yuhabak, even after he absorbed the Soul King.
Juiced
Yes,
up
dude.
with Soul King power, Yuhabak could nuke all three realms.
Yes.
The human world, Soul Society, and Hueco Mundo, plus the Dangai and Garganta in between, which have a bunch of pocket dimensions sprinkled in.
Which all
just the
summarizes
Soul
to at
King's
least a small
corpse
universe.
sent a shockwave across all the realms.
And it's not a matter of disrupting the flow of souls. Yuhabak was going to end everything through sheer power alone.
But Ichigo still wasn't done powering up.
Entering a new half-hollow form
Yuhabak.
and merging his Getsuga Tencho with a mighty hollow attack, the Gran Ray Sero.
Making a giant crescent slash that rips through space itself.
All that power culminating in his true Bankai.
The
a
true
power so
Bankai.
great, even Yuhabak was scared of it.
Joke's on you! Ichigo didn't even need it! You're done!
Ichigo was finally content. And 10 years later, he remains a Shinigami, having found the courage to stand on the edge of life and death, conquer his fears,
It's crazy how Bleach continued
and
on
walk
after. There's like new
onward.
younger Soul Reapers and stuff. I've seen them. Like Renji and Ruki, I believe, have a daughter.
Most teenagers have no idea what they want to do with their life. However,
Kisuke
that
and
was
Yoruichi.
hardly a problem
Kisuke,
for
you lucky
juvenile
bastard.
delinquent Yusuke Urameshi.
But
for life.
we're not talking about
However,
Kisuke. We're talking about Yusuke. Let's see what we
that
got.
was
Yu
hardly a
Hakusho.
problem for juvenile delinquent Yusuke Urameshi
Juvenile
because he
delinquent
only
accurate.
ever wanted to do one thing.
Throw hands! It don't matter who the ups are.
Name: Yusuke Urameshi. Age 8. Oh, he was 18 in the end. Okay. Height 5'8". Trained by Genkai, the GOAT. Occupations: spirit detective, ramen salesman. Naruto would love that. Descendant of Demon King Ryzen. Not Aizen, Ryzen. Although Aizen's worse. At least he should be. Likes fighting. Virtua Fighter. Keiko. Oh, yeah, okay. Is Virtua Fighter a game or something? We already know Keiko's a love interest. Fights anyone, be they women, old folk, or babies. The original shonen trash talker. Yes, Yusuke
Be
to
they
this
women,
day
old
has
folk,
one
or
of the best
babies,
trash talkers
Yusuke
ever.
lived to fight. It's what gave life meaning. Who cares about stupid things like friends and family?
Which is why it was so surprising when one day he threw himself in front of a speeding car to save a child, bringing that reckless life to a screeching halt.
Truck-kun claims another victim.
But this is chapter 1 of a battle shonen, so death is hardly the end.
Surprisingly, though,
Yes.
it wasn't a spooky skeleton in a hood who arrived to claim Yusuke's soul. It was a blue-haired anime girl on a broomstick.
This
Botan.
was Botan, whose job was to
Technically, she rises an or, fair and of the dead, and all that. That's like a witch broom, yeah.
ferry Yusuke's newly deceased spirit off to the afterlife.
Unfortunately, or I guess fortunately for him, he was such an asshole that the underworld didn't see his selfless death coming and didn't have any space prepared for him. Imagine being such a menace to society that the second you do something nice, hell itself gets caught with its pants down. What anyone would do in that situation, and told Satan Jr. to stuff it. I mean, he was never really good
Satan
for
Jr..
anything, and no one was gonna miss him. So what's the point of coming back to life? It's not
Yeah.
like his mom would be sad, or his childhood
Then he saw
sweetheart
the funeral
Keiko would be
and all the people who
heartbroken,
cared
or
for him,
even
and he
his
was like,
rival
"Alright, bro,
Kuwabara would
I don't
shed
wanna be dead."
manly tears. Oh man.
At the sight
Kuwabara-
of loved ones who cared far more than he ever
My
expected,
Brody.
Yusuke had a change of heart and accepted Koenma's offer, returning
By the way, bro, Yusuke and Kuwabara might have the biggest bromance of any anime pair. I'm not talking rivalry. I'm not talking French, like bromance. Yusuke and
to life with a new purpose and a new job.
And newfound ass-kicking ability.
Yes.
In his quest to beat the dog shit out of demon kind, Yusuke learned to harness Reiki, or spirit energy. He's
called
ridiculously
Reiki.
strong, fast, and durable, heals from wounds quickly, and can see spirits invisible to mortal men.
Even early on, Yusuke could
there
parry
you go, he can
Suzaku's
see
lightning
Bleach
arrows, which are
characters.
formed from real lightning called down from the sky.
Oh yeah,
And
hold on, let me read this real quick. Immense Reiki. I'm glad I got this. I like to call the power system something else than just like spirit energy, like Reiki, you know. Spirit gun, spirit shotgun, spirit wave, spirit punch, gold energy. Gold energy. Is that Sensui sacred energy you're talking about? Accelerated healing, barriers, energy absorption, propelled flight, spiritual awareness. The Mazaku form. Immense Yoki. Demon. Oh, Yoki's like what? The demon energy, right? Demon gun, previously channeled Ryzen's spirits. Yikes.
the help
Raizen's
of
tough.
legendary warrior Genkai, he mastered a signature move that could blast anyone to smithereens.
My favorite shonen move ever, the Spirit Gun.
Spirit
At first,
Blicky.
Yusuke had a limited number of shots, but eventually he turned it into his personal WMD. Stronger than any weapon on Earth, he could go finger blasting around as much as he wants.
The Spirit Gun is more versatile than it
Spirit
appears.
Blicky, you saw
Yusuke
he
can
lit up
bounce
that
off
crowd? That was a
surfaces for sneak
drive-by.
attacks, propel himself around like a rocket in flight, and produce massive explosions with each shot.
He can twist it up for a Spirit Shotgun, a
Yep.
mighty AoE blast, or a Spirit Punch.
I
where
wish
he
you did a
keeps
little
the
more with
energy
it,
stored
but
in his
these are
fists
still really
and
cool.
clobbers the hell out of you. And the Spirit Wave, a Kamehameha from before we uncultured Americans knew what a Kamehameha was.
For
Yusuke
real.
may be a punk, but he's deceptively skilled and cunning in battle.
He's not afraid to fight dirty, throwing his shoes, using sleight of hand to place cigarettes on his foe to track them in the dark.
Personally, I'd call that smart, and his hand-to-hand is A+. He's matched experts like Cabano, who's said to have mastered all forms of martial
Oh, yeah.
combat.
But his best secret is how quickly
Skill-wise,
he improves. All it takes is a
physically,
round of training or
I'd say
someone
he's got
threatening
over
his
Ichigo.
friends, and Yusuke's power will spike to match stronger
The dude's a
enemies.
brawler.
Even
He
if
can
it means
fight.
literally burning through his own life force for a power-up.
All
Yeah,
known
that.
demons and demon fighters are individually ranked on a scale of power from E to S.
E and
Uh-huh.
D-class demons are nothing special. We're talking local threats at best. C and B are getting a bit dicey in a destroy your city kind of way. A and S? Well, hold on to your ass. We're talking end of the world.
As Yusuke
Yes.
forged bonds with new allies, like demons Hiei and Kurama, as well as his old pal Kuwabara, he found himself facing opponents he couldn't beat, such as the monstrous Toguro, who could vaporize weaker demons and crush their souls with sheer aura.
But Yusuke needed to survive.
Yeah, man, that dude's aura from his body when he went up to like what 80% with his weird looking Resident Evil build, vaporizing demons on the audience in the audience.
And protect his loved ones. So he had no choice but to rank up, even if it meant absorbing the power of a small star. Thanks, Genkai!
Our sun has an average luminosity of 380.
Wait, that was
Star.
considered a small
Hey.
star. If you can accept this energy equivalent to a tiny sun into your body and not be incinerated in the process, you will have passed the test. A ball of vast energy compressed into a tiny volume. It will test you physically and mentally to determine if you can succeed me. It has energy comparable to that of a small star. I didn't know that. All Genkai said was that it could charge up a city block. I don't remember no small star stuff.
Genkai!
Our sun has an average luminosity of 380 septillion watts, or joules per second. Small stars like red dwarfs output about 1/10,000th of that. So this spirit orb's energy per second would equal about 9 million megatons of TNT.
Yikes.
Enough to send Toguro to the grave.
Even
Which he
after
did in one
pushing
shot.
past his own limits, Yusuke would still need more power to face S-class threats like Sensui, a past
With
spirit
that
detective
sacred
gone
energy.
bad, and a great measuring stick for what top-tier demons are capable of.
Exactly. Sensui was a great measuring stick, like you said. This dude Sensui at like 30% of his power shook all of like Earth and was endangering it.
So he was so yoked he couldn't even use all his power in the human
Yeah, see?
world without threatening to bring down
sorry,
the
I'm
whole
bringing
thing.
up things that they're
he
gonna bring
compared destroying the whole goddamn planet.
It just feels good
to
when you know about
kicking
something.
An anthill.
Let me read that real quick.
Destroying the whole goddamn planet.
Destroying the human realm would be smashing an anthill. That's a
To
crazy
kicking an
comparison,
ant.
bro. Destroying Earth would be the equivalent of taking out an anthill.
Hill.
According to Genkai, Yusuke could destroy the planet
Yep,
too,
she said
if
that
he
in the
really
end.
wanted. And even A-class threats like King Enma have shaken both the demon and human worlds.
That anima
He's
guy
only
is
8?
strong as balls. In the past, he fought the Netherworld King Yakumo,
Oh,
who
yeah,
could
this is the thing.
eradicate the
I didn't see
entire
this.
human world.
This is a movie, but like it wasn't properly dubbed, so I didn't watch it. And the villain looked cool, so I'm ashamed of that. But I still think Yakumo looks cool.
And remake the Netherworld.
But Yusuke's power surpassed both of them to the point where he overloaded Yakumo with his own energy. And do keep in mind, Yusuke was still only A-class at the time,
Yeah,
a
okay.
far cry from S-classes like Sensui, whose sacred energy was 10 times his superior.
But not for long, sucker, because turns out Yusuke was a
Hold on, don't forget when Sensei was like, "Hey man, I'm so powerful right now that the higher level S ranks are so powerful compared to me. It's like the difference between me and an ordinary human." That is an insane statement.
demon himself.
Literally. Yusuke is the descendant of an ancient and incredibly powerful being, one of the strongest in existence. Ryzen, the Demon King.
With his Mazoku mark, Yusuke can channel Ryzen's spirit
It's
for a
Mazoku.
huge
At
power
least that's what
boost
they said in the-
and a massive thirst for murder boost. This was his first taste of a dangerous new type of
He was
spirit
bashing
energy,
up Sensui there.
Yoki.
A form of energy used by demons.
Okay, yeah, that's what
like
Yoki
normal
is.
Reiki, it can be amplified by intense emotions. Unlike normal Reiki, its use
And then he
creates
proceeds
a
to start headbutting
pleasurable
him
feeling,
and
feeding
swing him
into
around.
the user's rage and bloodlust, the feral animal within.
Yeah, it's not as
So,
powerful as Reiki, but Yoki is more like what they were saying, fair and
Yusuke
aggressive.
upgraded his spirit gun to
I know.
a demon
I'm a great
gun.
guy. I'm a great
It's
echo
the
to
same
this.
thing, but red. Oh, it is strong enough to blast Sensui past the horizon, putting Yusuke's power firmly in S-class.
And making him a prime candidate to rule the demon world. But as he
Don't
was
forget how one of those trees that they showed that looked like pillars with lands on them, whatever, are like the size of countries or something, or islands. They're like large islands, and Sensui one-kicked that by an accident, destroying it.
thrust into a tournament vying for that throne, Yusuke began to wonder if all this power was what he really wanted.
Yeah, this was a deep
Self-reflection?
scene.
From I'll kick your ass, Yusuke Urameshi? Nah, we can worry about that later. There's a tournament to win. Which one of you, girl, baby, or
Oh.
grandparents is first?
Even then, as Yusuke took on the Demon King Yomi in an epic final battle,
That was
he
a
was
good fight.
still growing.
Even
He
though
had
this
become
arc was
far
rushed,
stronger than
unfortunately, I did
before,
like it.
even achieving a unique version of the Mazoku form separate from Ryzen's influence.
And a brand spanking new form of power. Kinda like Sensui's secret energy, but
Okay.
even better.
So he
It's
did have his
so
own version of
unprecedented.
it.
It doesn't even have a name, but it's golden glowy.
Strong enough to clash with Yomi, creating an explosion that split the heavens above and decimated the Okunin tree below, pushing the Demon King himself to his absolute limits.
Yes, and it was basically a stalemate between the two. And Prime Ryzen was still stronger than that. Like, I believe considerably stronger. Winter of the Dark Tournament parried Suzaku's lightning arrows, contained the Spirit Orb's energy, withstood Togoro's demonic aura, annihilated a 10-kilometer plateau in 0.45 seconds, overloaded Yakumo's realm, ending power sphere, decimated and oh, there you go, the tree, the Ukinen tree with Demon King Yomi, defeated Hiei, Rando, Suzaku, Chu, Bakken, Jin, Togoro, Sensui. Who's Bakken? Who was that? I forgot who that was.
But then, Yusuke lost. It's not all bad,
Oh,
though.
well, I guess
Even
he
if
did
being
lose.
king would have been cool, Yusuke realized he wanted something more. He'd grown up and chose to walk a new path.
It was always Yusuke's connections with others that motivated him above all else. And it was in those connections that he found his happy ending.
But I
Aw.
wouldn't piss him off if you can avoid it.
Nope.
Get him in the right mood or threaten the human world, and the spirit detective will beat your stupid ass.
And with a single spirit gun, you can blow away a planet at this point. Let's be honest.
Long has its return been foretold, but now, finally, it is reborn.
What's his merch?
The original Death Battle shirt
We
that
got more
once
merch,
dominated
guys.
the world.
Go
Hell
check it
yeah,
out.
There's no
Go
better
wear
way
it.
to wear.
If this death battle, if Ichigo wins, I'm gonna probably buy merch. Who knows? We'll see. But check out the merch. Oh my god, I'm nervous, bro. Here we are. I'm nervous. Man, like Ichigo got that drip.
Run the data through all possibilities.
It's time.
I'm going for Ichigo. I like Yusuke a little better, but I do like Ichigo a lot. But this isn't about who you like, right? I like them both. I like both anime. I do like Bleach a bit more than Yu Yu Hakusho, but reasonably speaking, Ichigo should win. You know, he should win. I know about both of them enough and like them both enough to be like, yeah, Ichigo's got this.
Death
If he doesn't win, I don't know what to say. Even if he does win, it's
battle!
weird because why did he lose to Naruto, but he beat Sasuke, and then he just beat Yusuke? You know what I'm saying? It's confusing. Sprite animation. Oh, they sensed. Wait, hold on.
It's a demon.
That's hollow.
No doubt about it.
Man, Ichigo is already in his Shikai, bro.
Spirit guide.
Obviously, he's always in Shikai, but he's like in his current like peak 1,000-year Blood War Shikai. You don't understand how powerful he is in this state alone, my guy. Like literally. Okay, you stay put in the work. Let's go fist fighting too. Oh, that's cool. No, well, not for Ichigo. Did he just he does play dirty, but spirit and gutting your nuts is wild.
No match.
Oh, they're bringing in some of the outside. You got the Menos. That's cool. Are we gonna see demons come in too?
Chop change.
Tough change.
Reckless idiot!
Is that Ichigo's real voice actor? Is that Johnny?
What a baby! Little demon energy got you scared. Nah.
Maybe it's not, but it does sound all like it. Ooh, that's cool. They're in the Garganta, the space in between. Don guy.
Two at once? Damn, why didn't I think of that?
That's true, bro. I've never seen. I don't think I've seen him use two spirit guns. Like, bro, dual
Give
wield.
in to me, Yusuke.
Oh,
Let's devour
Ryzen.
him together.
Hell no! This is my fight, jackass! You just hold me back!
Damn, he got ripped there for a second. Oh, now hold on a minute, bro. I just gotta appreciate that.
Fight, jackass!
The way he came in, like, I've seen that from another anime. I'm not remembering that. Woo, that looked clean. And he's giving him the Broly. Wow.
Yeesh, rude awakening. This one's a piece of work. Need a hand, partner? Let's do it.
Oh, that's
old times.
Zangetsu.
On! Cut!
That was cool. Hold on a minute.
Let's
Bro.
do it. Like old times.
On!
That was cool. I like the way he looks there too. He's got like the Vasco look. Oh, they're fighting the demon around. Oh, he's in Bankai. Yep, that's his true Bankai. Technically, at this point, bro, Ichigo should stop.
That's the best you can do? I can go even faster if you'd like.
That sounds a lot like this.
Bring it on, asshole!
That, bro, that art they're doing right there, that was clean right there.
I'll kill you even if it kills me! I'm putting it all on the line!
He's breaking
You
his
better do the
Bankai.
same!
Bro, use blood.
Screw that!
Oh, he's bringing out the freaking Grand Zero thing. I'm guessing Yusuke's gonna like push his spirit energy to. Yeah, Ichigo's gonna push that. Oh no.
Give me a freak.
He's not gonna die for it, though, right?
See you on the other side.
Okay. Okay, bro. Okay. Now let's be honest. Ichigo could beat Yusuke in just Chushikai. He doesn't need his Bankai. Let's be honest. Bankai is overkill, in my opinion, at least. Right? Still, good fight. They did good with the scaling here. I'll be honest with you, bro. This is one of those battles where it's like, yo, Ichigo's going to win. You can currently scale him to low universal, if not just universal. Some people like to scale higher than that. Either way, those scalings alone completely stomp Yusuke's current scaling, bro. Because Yusuke at most is like large planetary, maybe star, maybe. But that's as far as he gets. And that's not bad. Like, he'd still beat a lot of Bleach characters with that scaling. But not Ichigo, especially currently. So, can you explain real quick how Ichigo loses to Naruto? Do I gotta react to that battle with y'all and like just look at the oblivious nonsense they put
There's a
there?
lot to cover here, so let's break this down
Same
into
thing with
4
Madara versus
chapters,
Aizen.
starting with their abilities.
Yusuke could see Ichigo
Yeah,
no
I'm pretty
problem.
sure Yusuke. Well,
and
no.
resist aura.
I was gonna say Yusuke has more abilities, but technically, even though Ichigo just feels like he has one ability, he has a lot. Okay, the Quincy Bloods, and you know,
There's
Holification,
like Taguros that are
Zeros,
similar
Soul
to
Reaper stuff,
Reiatsu,
Flash
so
Step.
Ichigo couldn't cheese a win right away.
Otherwise, Yusuke was outmatched. Sure, the Spirit Gun could potentially match the Getsuga Tensho, and he had stat-boosting forms like the Mizoku. Ichigo, however, had more varied powers, a better healing factor, greater stamina given his months of Dangai training.
And all those swords. He just had way more abilities to play with.
Likewise, speed was a fairly easy call. Yusuke could react to lightning early on, and obviously got much faster over time.
But Ichigo
Looking at
was
this blast from his
reacting to
clash with
light.
Yomi, it erupted upwards
In
at
the beginning.
57% the speed of light.
But Ichigo was faster
Yeah,
than light
Zeros.
from the start, and he's gotten faster too. He couldn't even see Byakuya at first, but blitzed him in the rematch. Plus, he's got tons of training and power-ups since then.
The
Yep.
Soul King Shockwave, for example, expanded across the realms at thousands of times light speed, and Ichigo reacted to attacks from Soul King Yuhabak that utilized the same power. So,
Yuhabak.
Ichigo takes speed.
Yes.
But Yusuke's fought plenty of foes faster and more varied than him, so it's extremely important to examine their tactics and ability to adapt
Okay,
mid-fight.
I'll give that
This
Yusuke.
is
You just threw
kinda
tactics
both
in there
their
to get
things.
something to Yusuke. You know
Ichigo
that.
has styled on guys with centuries of training and has over a decade of experience as a Shinigami. He's
Facts.
pretty good at figuring out new weapons and styles.
Meanwhile, Yusuke was flexible and quick to adapt, mixing cleverness with exceptional
I'll
hand-to-hand.
give it to him, though. He
He's
does have
good enough to
tactics.
match Kabano,
But this
who
stat was only
mastered
thrown in here
every
to give
martial
Yusuke
art.
something.
Ichigo's decent at hand-to-hand, but it's not his go-to in the same way.
Nope.
So, both had their strong suits, with advantages on each side. It's fair to call this one a draw.
Leaving only the biggest winning factor, which could have superseded
draw?
all
I would have gave that to Yusuke, but okay.
other advantages. Power. Could have superseded all other advantages. Power.
Between Sensui,
Ichigo, right?
Genkai, and Enma, Yusuke could definitely destroy the planet. Examining his sky-splitting clash with Yomi and measuring its scale, that's about 4 quadrillion megatons of TNT.
It's a good feat, but
which
come on,
is
let's be real.
crazy.
Similarly, mid-series Ichigo could shake Huecomundo,
Yes,
tear through
mid-series.
hell, and block attacks that could destroy the Soul Society. But at his peak, he beat Huaba.
That's what I'm saying. You could probably scale Yusuke roughly to mid Ichigo and, you know, a Rancor arc with the stuff that was taking place there with Hueco Mundo and the Hellverse, if you want to include that. But once it gets to 1,000-Year Blood War, it's just a whole different thing.
Who could destroy several realms, which is far more impressive than just one.
To be fair, Yusuke also beat Yakumo, who could threaten 2 realms at the same time. Pretty close to Yhwach's threatening 3.
And Yusuke far surpassed Yakumo after.
What? I mean, I guess.
The gap between him and Sensui alone was 10 times. So there could be an argument for Yusuke's power surpassing Ichigo if 3 realms was truly Ichigo's limit.
Fortunately for Ichigo, it's not. Yhwach was also gonna destroy the Garganta, which has at least 29
Yeah,
pocket
the 3
dimensions
realms and
inside
everything
it.
with it.
Each containing at least a planet and star, much larger than Yusuke's planet-sized worlds. Plus, Ichigo matched Yhwach in
Hold on.
planet and star, much larger.
Let me say that again.
And pocket dimensions inside it.
Each containing at least a planet and star, much larger than.
He discovered non-artificial light breaking through and used Shimpo to run it at once. Hisagi earnestly held back his unease. Okay.
Yusuke's planet-sized worlds. Plus, Ichigo matched Yhwach in True Shikai, without his additional boost from Half Hollow and True Bankai.
As always with Death Battle, there's arguments either way. But the way we see it, even being generous with Yusuke's power and conservative with Ichigo's, the gap was just too big, giving Ichigo the final
Hey,
edge.
Ichigo, look, that whole thing is basically orange.
Sorry if
And that looked like Nickelodeon colors.
things got messy, but that's just how Ichigo goes.
The winner is Ichigo Kurosaki.
You know, one thing I'll say about this. Hold on, let me see what's next.
Next time on Death Battle.
Metal Sonic. Metal Sonic versus Cell?
Subscribe.
Are we putting Cell Max in there? Because I don't know. I'm afraid if there's some Archie stuff for Metal Sonic, he's gonna win. If not, I think Cell might have it. Actually, no, because if Metal Sonic scales to even the stuff we've seen from just Sonic, where he can like shift the universe and such with the Chaos Emeralds, then you know Cell is not universal. He caps that solar system. So unless you throw Cell Max in there, I don't know how Cell's taking this. But I'm rooting for Cell. That's my boy. Anyways, I'm gonna like this. I want to look at the comments real quick. Yeah, that was crazy. Let me like that. This man really went and blickied him in the balls with a spirit gun. 2 at once. I think that was a good dialogue right there. They felt in character, to both of them. Yeah, but they weren't properly pronouncing Zanpakuto. They said Zanpakuto. Love how they show Yusuke rejecting Ryzen. That's cool. That was cool. Yeah, it is a Yusuke line. They did a good job of Yusuke's character. Screw the sewer bowl. This is more important. It's crazy. We didn't have Bad Bunny in this though. You know, everybody loves Bad Bunny. All right, man. That's the end of that. Hope you guys liked and enjoyed. I guess one of the things that makes Bleach's scaling difficult is like how big are the realms? Because, you know, if some people see them as like each realm is probably like the size of a solar system. Combining them all together would make Bleach's universe, I guess, galaxy universe. It's weird. It just comes down to, yo, how big are these realms? You know, how big are they? Like, they're massive. We can at least place each of them to at least planetary. in terms of size, but it'd be crazy to think like, okay, with that in mind, Ichigo's just planetary. No way, you know. So at the end of the day, I feel like low universal, at best, can be like the best scaling for Bleach as a whole. I don't know how big the realms are in Yu Yu Hakusho either. They also seem like they might just be planet. I can make a better argument for Bleach's being bigger with all the stuff in it compared to this, but I'm not gonna get into all that. Good battle. I still feel like they got to explain how Naruto. I guess it's just gonna be one of those like faulty death battles. You know, they have a few of those. But that Naruto versus Ichigo and that Madara versus Aizen thing is gonna bother me for. Well, it's not gonna bother me, but it's annoying. Either way, hope you guys enjoy. Like I said, recommend what you guys want to see. Like and subscribe. You know, do all that fun stuff, and stay righteous out there. The world's looking grim, but stay righteous. Peace out, y'all.